Richard had always been the reliable guy, the one friends called for advice on fixing a leaky faucet or debugging a computer glitch. At 32, though, his life felt like a puzzle with a missing piece: love. He dated sporadically in his 20s, but nothing stuck. Now, scrolling through dating apps in his cozy apartment, he wondered if he'd ever find the one. Society's timeline nagged at him: married by 30, kids by 35. "What's wrong with me?" he muttered one evening, staring at his reflection. Then, a late-night internet rabbit hole changed everything. Richard stumbled upon articles about the chemical power of eye contact. He'd always known it was important in conversations, signaling interest, building trust, but the science fascinated him. Prolonged eye contact, it turned out, could trigger the release of oxytocin, the love hormone that fosters bonding and intimacy. One study suggested that holding someone's gaze a bit longer than normal, say 4 seconds instead of the usual 2, could heighten feelings of connection, making hearts race and pupils dilate in a dance of unspoken chemistry. Could this be my secret weapon? Richard thought. He wasn't one for pickup lines or flashy gestures, but locking eyes? That seemed doable. The next weekend, he tested it at a local book fair, a bustling event with stalls of novels and authors signing copies. Richard wandered the aisles, his heart pounding with a mix of nerves and excitement. That's when he spotted her, a beautiful woman with a stack of fantasy books under her arm. She was browsing a display of classics, her eyes scanning the spines thoughtfully. Gathering his courage, Richard approached. "Excuse me, have you read this one?" he asked, holding up a worn copy of Pride and Prejudice. Emily turned, her eyes meeting his, instead of glancing away. Richard held the gaze, just a beat longer than felt comfortable. 4 seconds. 5. He felt a subtle warmth build, like a current passing between them. Emily blinked but didn't look away. "Yeah, it's one of my favorites," she replied, a small smile tugging at her lips. The way Austen captures human connection, it's timeless. Their eyes lingered again as they discussed the book's themes. Richard noticed her pupils widening slightly, mirroring his own. Was it the oxytocin kicking in? The science said yes, that prolonged stare could mimic the rush of falling in love, blurring the line between curiosity and affection. The conversation flowed effortlessly from books to favorite coffee spots, then to dreams of travel. Emily laughed at his jokes, her gaze returning to his time and again. By the time they exchanged numbers, Richard felt a spark he hadn't experienced in years. "There's something about your eyes," she said shyly as they parted. "They make me feel seen." Their first date was at a quiet cafe, where they practiced what Richard now called the gaze game, holding eye contact while sharing stories. Each prolonged look deepened the bond, releasing waves of oxytocin that turned strangers into confidants. Weeks turned into months, and what started as a scientific experiment blossomed into real love. Richard realized it wasn't magic, it was biology meeting vulnerability. Eye contact wasn't just a tool, it was a doorway to the heart. At 32, Richard had found his missing piece, all because he dared to look a little longer, and in Emily's eyes, he saw forever. Their relationship was growing in a positive direction.